Hey, everybody. Obviously, you know what time it is. Oh, check you out. You got a new background and everything. Woo-wee. Somebody,
Flashy.
you must have got paid this week.
No, I ain't
Anyway,
get paid.
so
Paid with
everybody,
knowledge.
you know what night it is when you see the faces of the Miller Boys. It's Wednesday night, and it's time to be in touch with the Miller Boys, your weekly talk show where we discuss and share our intimate thoughts about all things impacting the African American community of the city of Fresno. And I am always joined on a weekly basis by my darling older brother with a Superman shirt on. And hey, what is your background? What is that?
It is a fist with all the names of these people that have been killed by the police
Nationally?
nationally.
Okay, cool.
I stole it from somebody. Oh well.
That's the actual background. That's not a virtual thing, right?
No, it's a virtual.
Oh,
I don't know why it popped up, but I like it and I'm gonna leave it
I'm
for tonight.
I'm gonna have to look for that one because I got my Black Lives Matters up tonight. But
I'll send it to you.
Please do. So anyway,
See Breonna Taylor right there? Breonna Taylor.
I was seeing Ahmaud Arbery. I see some.
Yeah, there you go. Now we in the same block,
Breonna
hitting
Taylor,
home runs.
Peter Gaines. I don't know who that is. I haven't heard that name. But anyway, we're going to talk about that a little bit, but on a local scale as we get going through this. But before I go any further, I want to talk about voting real quick, please. We are absolutely in the throes of voting. In California, if you have not received your ballot, you need to contact your local county elections office and ask them where your ballot is. Because remember, in California, everybody's ballot was mailed to them at their house, and then there's 3 ways for you to return it. You can complete it, put it in a U.S. mail. It takes about 4 or 5 days. You can put it in one of your county's official drop boxes. And when I say official, and I'm stressing that, the official drop boxes are listed inside of, are listed inside of the information that comes to you with your ballot. The county will have included in there where your vote centers will be, as well as where your drop boxes are. Please don't go to any of these bootleg drop boxes. It's not listed on the information that's inside of your envelope.
That's right. The stuff will be in a fire somewhere.
It'll be in a river or something like that. So there are official drop boxes in California. Please contact your county office or use the information that comes with your ballot to make sure you get it sent to the right place. And then the third way is to wait for your vote centers to open. Here in Fresno County, vote centers will not be open until Halloween, which is October 31st. So it'll be open the 31st, 1st, and 2nd from 8 to 5 or from 9 to 6. And then on Election Day, Tuesday, November 3rd, they'll be open from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. on Election Day. So those are the ways that you can return your ballots. If you have questions or concerns, you can go to voterstatus.sos.ca.gov, and that will tell you your voter's status for anybody in the state of California. Again, that's voter status, status.sos.ca.gov. That takes you to the California Secretary of State's office. And it's a pretty slick. In California, we're very blessed and very fortunate. I turned my ballot in, dropped it off at a drop box on Monday, and I got a text message and an email back on Tuesday telling me that they had received my ballot. And so I know it works. Yeah, it was a one-day turnaround. I know that a couple people put it in the mail, and it's taken them 3, 4, 5 days to get that text message or notification back. But we've been putting it in the mail. They've gotten a receipt, an electronic receipt back.
Is that exclusive to Fresno County?
I don't believe so. I believe all the counties have the ability to do that. But I know in Fresno County, if you put it in the mail, it's going to take anywhere from 3 to 5 days for you to get a receipt back. If you put it in the drop boxes, official drop boxes, which they pick up every night, you'll get it back. You'll get a notification back the next day. So it's real, and we're engaged in voting. on a national scene, they're saying that states that are doing early voting, all of them are breaking records as far as the amount of early ballots that they've been returning and receiving.
And the other side of the other side of the ledger, the Republicans are scared because I heard on 2 different conservative stations today that they're being outpaced as it is right now in early voting by the by the Democrats.
Right, 2
which
to 1.
is a clear indication that somebody tired of Donald Trump. But we're gonna get to Obama.
Well, I mean, but remember, I'm gonna be devil's advocate for just a second. All that means is that the ballots that they receive is from registered Democrats. Doesn't mean that the Democrat voted for Biden. They could have voted for Trump. And just the opposite way.
Hey, I'll take the strawberries when I get.
I got you. But the other side of it is that even with the Republicans, early ballots that are coming in doesn't mean that Republicans are voting for Trump. They could have voted for Biden. So although it's a 2 to 1, it's although it's a 2 to 1 ratio of return ballots, it has no indication, really true indication of who they're voting for. Although I am predicting that Donald Trump is going to get smoked in this election. I'm predicting that it's going to be 58, 59 Biden, 45, 44, 45 for Trump, which is in political rhetoric, that's an ass whooping. If it's outside of 3 or 4 points, it's an ass whooping. And so he thought he can claim fraud and all that other kind of stuff he wants to, but I think he's just going to be kicking rocks in this case. But the other factor is that it's going to get interesting. What's going to happen? I still think that we're getting ready to see a political Mike Tyson and Vander Holyfield. Remember that fight when Vander was putting it on him for the first time ever? What Mike Tyson did, he reached out when he got in the clinch, he bit his ear off, bit him not once but twice.
Okay.
I think Trump is going to be doing some ear biting. Now, what that means in the political realm, I don't know. But I just think that he's a caged animal. He's not used to not having his way, and I think that there's going to be some negative outcomes that's going to happen when he gets.
He gonna be in rare form tomorrow night, and he gonna act ooh and fool.
Yeah,
they gonna cut his mic off. He might walk off the stage.
Agreed. You heard what he did with Diane Sawyer, right?
No.
So they did he was supposed to been. He was interviewed this week. He and Pence was interviewed this week by Diane. I think it was Diane Sawyer for 60 Minutes. The Sunday show, 60 Minutes. She was doing an interview with him that he abruptly, after 45 minutes, got up and left Pence there. And supposedly, Diane Sawyer was asking him a bunch of, she asking him about the coronavirus, and he wanted to talk about chili beans, and she kept bringing him back and pressing him on the questions. He finally said, enough is enough. I'm the president. I have to take this. He got up and left.
Of course.
A lot of people are saying
he is a punk. That's punk behavior. Mm-hmm. And he's a punk. And he gonna punk out every time. When it don't go his way, he gonna punk out. So I can't wait to see what he got to say tomorrow. Because Obama blistered him today. Obama put him up.
I didn't get a chance to see all of it. I heard clips of it. I'm looking forward to going back.
I didn't see it all either. I saw enough. When you do it, when somebody tell you so sorry, basically, that you blew the economy that I left for you, you couldn't even handle that. Come on now, really? I thought I was the only one to notice that.
I saw a bunch of memes today, and they was like Obama's going in on him. He went straight in on him today. So I'm looking forward. I'm gonna look at some of the clips, hopefully. Later on tonight, and then I'll listen to some of the reports on it tomorrow. And and the thing about it was he was in Philadelphia, which is a Democratic city, and so he was amongst his, the President Obama was amongst his folks, so he could act that, he could be Barack, he could be Barry in front of those folks, and so I'm interested to see what's gonna happen with it. But your president's making me out to be a liar. You know that, right?
Who, Barack Obama?
No.
I thought I heard you say
Your president 45.
Yeah, that's what I thought I heard you say. Your president. That's your president.
Yeah. Because I said I was not watching no more of that BS than presidential debates because that first one was such an atrocity. But I got to watch tomorrow.
Yeah, you got to. It's going to be pure entertainment.
You're making me out to be the biggest liar ever. That's the biggest lie I ever told in my life. Because I am going to either watch it tomorrow, I'm going to listen to it tomorrow. But I gotta witness this because I think it's going to be Evander Holyfield, Mike Tyson. It's going to be. I wouldn't be surprised if Donald Trump don't jump over there and lick Biden on the cheek.
You go swing. You go swing and fall off the little kid heels he got on, break his ankle.
Hey, have you? You know the Lincoln Project has been tearing him up. I saw another advertisement that they got out right now. And the Lincoln Project, for those of you who don't know, are the rebelling Democrat. No, I'm sorry, the rebelling Republicans who got some money, who do not care for Trump. They've been ripping him, and they talking about his physical fitness now. They showed him drinking water with out of a water bottle with two hands, and basically staggering down the runway, getting off a stage or plane or something. They've been tearing him up, man, and so
and they need to.
Yeah, and that's the only reason why I'm watching tomorrow. And I'm embarrassed to say that, but I am thoroughly expecting and looking forward to the train wreck, the Tyson Holyfield fight tomorrow evening, politically. And so I hate to say that, but hey, you got me.
You asked me something last week, and I did a little research about Ice Cube, and your dad made a comment about Ice Cube, and I think that after what I've seen and heard, I don't think that he's done anything wrong.
He hasn't. I would agree. I don't think he's done anything wrong, and I appreciate what he's attempting to do, but he just ain't in his lane. And he don't understand.
Well, I mean, how is he not in his lane?
Because he got played. Donald Trump's camp played him. They used him to get what they thought was going to be a hit, a boost from the African American community, with the curiosity because of the support that the African American community gives Ice Cube. They couldn't give one hill of beans about the project, this platinum plan that he presented to them. All they were looking for was the media hit, the media blitz that they thought was going to come with it.
So how is that playing him though? I don't think that that's him being played. He put forth a platinum plan. Some people agree, some people don't agree with it, but all it is a plan to him because he's trying to tease out who is going to help or put forth something to help the black community, the African American community in the United States. I don't see how that's being played. I understand what you're saying, that they believe that they were going to get a boost or a benefit from that, but I don't think it turned out that way. I think people shunned Ice Cube as well as Donald Trump. I think that the black I haven't talked to one black person or one African American person who has said Ice Cube has swayed them to vote Republican.
Oh no, not to sway. Yeah, I agree. Now, I have not talked to any African American who said that Ice Cube has swayed them to vote Republican, but I have talked to a few African Americans that said that Ice Cube has sold out.
Right, and I don't think that those folks actually understand politics, basically.
Exactly. That's my point. The Ice Cube does not understand how the political game is played. That's what I mean.
No. The people that you're talking to.
Agree.
Okay.
Ice Cube don't understand politics. He is.
Well, politics is nothing more than you going out and doing whatever it is that you're doing. And what I've read is Ice Cube has been in the political game in and around and about L.A. and with Minister Farrakhan and some other folks and doing those dibbling dabbling. That's the only way you're going to know politics. So I can't agree with that statement. when you say he's gotten played, you say he's gotten played by Donald Trump's camp. I think they tried to play him, but I don't see a problem with him coming up with something that would help black people or African American people, and going and taking it to who is the current president to see what the reaction is going to be.
Ice Cube took a hit by what he did. He took a hit. And that's the part that I'm saying about him getting played, is he took a hit. He got put on blast by what's the black commentator's name that interviewed him? Roland Martin has put him on national TV, and basically he didn't blast him, but he basically questioned, kind of chastised him about what he was doing. He's in the public arena. He was on TMZ and got TMZ kind of cornering him about some of the things he's done. Ice Cube's brand has taken a hit, and it's unfortunate.
Okay, now when you say Ice Cube's brand has taken a hit, let me ask you: are you talking about Ice Cube, the gangster rapper, or are you talking about Ice Cube, the Disney man, saying, "Are we there yet?" Because Ice Cube's fan base.
I'm saying all of it. The Ice Cube brand, all of it. The rapper, the television, all of that stuff. Ice Cube is taking a hit.
If you got 1,000,000 pennies in your pocket and I take 100 of them, that ain't too much of a hit.
That's a hit, though. I agree with you. It's not a substantial hit, but it is still a hit. And I hate that Ice Cube, the Ice Cube brand, because I'm a supporter of his, is taking a hit.
I don't see it that way.
I got you. You don't have to agree, but I'm just telling you, that's the part that bugs me in this. Because what he did was honorable. There's nothing wrong with what he did. I just believe that there was a better way for him to do what he did. So you know the backstory, right? I shared with you the other day.
Yeah, that's Bannon's partner. I read, and I did go and research and read that.
Okay.
That his business partner in the Big Three is Bannon's partner in a lot of other businesses.
His ex-partner, his former partner, him, Bannon. I forget the guy's name. But anyway, just so that everybody understands what we're talking about.
It's something like Wabalabowski or something.
Yeah. Ice Cube's business partner with the Big Three, the basketball deal that he's got going on right now, is Mr. X. I don't remember what the guy's name is. But Mr. X, back in the early 2000s, was business partners or was in a business entity partnership with Steve Bannon. And Steve Bannon is Donald Trump's ace boon coon strategist #1. So this Ice Cube,
but it used to be, because they're not anymore.
Correct. They're not partners anymore. They're not collaboratives. Ice Cube's business partner is seen as a ultra liberal.
Okay.
That's his politics. The way he gets down is ultra liberal. Steve Bannon is seen as an ultra conservative, although I think he's more of an opportunist. That's what I mean about Ice Cube not understanding the political game.
Ice Cube. I think Ice Cube has let's move on, because we're at odds and we're going.
But it's not about us. It's about our community and about our public understanding what it is that we're on different sides of the spectrum from. There is nothing wrong with what Ice Cube did. Let me say that again. There is nothing wrong with what Ice Cube did, but there is another way that he could have done it where his brand didn't have to take a hit. Donald Trump had lost no goddamn points because of what he did. The only person who was damaged, the Ice Cube's business partner, Steve Bannon, ain't taking a hit in this exchange. The only person who's taking a hit in this exchange, whether it's 100 pennies or whether it's 1,000,000 pennies, is Ice Cube. That's the part that bothers me.
And he's only taking a hit from the side of the ledger that you're on as an African American. So maybe somebody took 100 pennies from him on the African American side, but we don't know. So maybe he gained another 1,000,000 pennies on the white boy side, on the Republican side. We don't know.
Gerald, you're saying exactly what I'm saying.
No, we're not.
We are saying the exact
we're not.
The exact same thing.
I don't believe.
So do you think that Ice Cube went into this endeavor thinking that he was going to take a hit?
I don't think Ice Cube really gave a fat parrot's booty if he took a hit or not. Ice Cube is in it for the people. Ice Cube is trying to bring a package to his people to see if he could do better. That's where a lot of people are right now with Ice Cube.
Did you do your investigation about the package that he put forth?
The Platinum Plan?
Yeah.
Little, yes.
Okay. Did you notice that the most of the Platinum Plan and most of the elements that he put in the Platinum Plan were already being sought by Republicans and Democratic platforms? I shouldn't say platforms because the Republican side doesn't have a platform. By Donald Trump and the Democratic platform?
No, but
there were many.
There's no idea that's going to be new. I mean, I don't. Okay. Anyway, all right, Darren. We see the same thing, and you're right. Okay, whatever. What do you think about? What do you think about 50 Cent?
I don't know anything about 50 Cent.
He said he's endorsing Donald Trump, and by the way, Ice Cube never endorsed Donald Trump.
Correct.
50 Cent said he endorsing Donald Trump, and he's going to vote for Donald Trump.
Good.
And black people should vote for Donald Trump. So is that also hurting his brand?
Yes, it will.
And do you think he cares?
No, he's probably trying to protect his money. He is doing a Donald Trump. He's of the Donald. I don't know anything about 50 Cent's story other than what you're telling me right now. But to me, it sounds like 50 Cent is worried about 50 cents. Period.
Right.
I agree with you that Ice Cube was attempting to do something for his people. In particular, he said that he doesn't want his plan has nothing to do with people of color, has nothing to do with minority people. His plan is specifically for blacks are born in America. That's what he says. I have no problem, an issue with that. I just wish that his brand, the Ice Cube brand, did not have to take a hit in order to do what he's doing. And that's what I'm saying. You're saying the same thing. You're just saying it a different way. That Ice Cube should not have. Why are you shaking your head?
Because we're not saying the same thing.
What is your point?
My point is that I don't think Ice Cube is actually taking a hit. I think Ice Cube, if he is taking a hit, don't give two fat rats ass if he does take a hit. I think his motivation was not to try and protect his brand or his money. I think his motivation was to try to actually help his people. I think that Ice Cube has enough money, enough clout, enough power. Ice Cube makes rap songs. Ice Cube is a producer. He makes movies. Ice Cube got more money than you and I will ever see. Ice Cube can give a fat flying cat about what the common poor person thinks. He's trying to do something for his folks.
We're saying the same thing. I know you're going to shake your head. We're saying the same exact thing. I agree with you that what he don't give a shit about him taking a hit. He don't give a shit about how much money he's going to lose. He don't give a shit about what people say and stuff. I got that. What I'm saying is there is another way, another avenue that he could have done exactly what he's doing right now without taking a hit, whether it be 1 penny or 2 million pennies. I don't like the fact that what his intentions is going to have to hit him. He's going to have to lose something because of his intentions. That's what my issue is. So we're saying the same thing. And I know you don't agree. We're saying the same exact thing. Ice Cube's brand should not be hurt or inundated anyway by what he did, because what he did was honorable. What he did is what more people should do. I just hate the fact that he's got to take a hit now, in particular in the African-American community. He's got to take a hit because of what the path that he took to do it. That's all I'm saying. So I have not checked out 50 Cent, but it sounds like 50 Cent ain't no different than Diamond and Silk and them idiot twin brothers that's on social media. And what's that black former deputy sheriff or the dude with the big thick goatee? What's his name?
I don't know. I know you talk about.
God, I can't think of his name.
You're always wearing a cowboy hat.
Always wearing a cowboy hat. It sounds like 50 Cent ain't doing nothing different than them folks. They don't understand the bigger picture about caring about their African-American brothers and sisters, those black people that are here in this country, and that not all of us are able to prosper. I guess that's not the right word. But America has not been very kind to most black-born Americans. So I just, I got you. Like I said, I just wish that Ice Cube didn't have to take a hit for this. And time will tell and see. But because even Roland Martin, when Roland Martin was talking about his interview with him, he was like, I applaud him for what he's doing. I just don't think he understood the whole dynamics of what's at play. And that's the thing, that's Donald Trump's undoing also. He's a reality television star. He ain't no damn politician. He don't understand how the government works. He thinks that he can do whatever the hell it is he wants to do, like he did on reality TV. That's not how the government works. Politicians are supposed to work for the people. And I agree. I'll be the first to tell you that politicians have gotten away from that over the last 20 or 30 years. And I think that this is going to be the reckoning that's going to realign us to having politicians actually represent people like they're supposed to do. So, talking on a more, let's change the subject to a more local deal. One of the things we talked about on the phone the other day was about black politics in Fresno. And so I looked at some numbers, just some statistical numbers. California is the 5th largest city in California. We're right now at 540,000 people. We're growing since 2010 at about a rate of 7%, 7 point something percent, 7 to 8% every year. And so we are a metropolitan area that is actually expanding, growing. The African American population is 7.61, so just under 8%, which would put us at about 40,000 African American people here in the city of Fresno. So with all of the just numerical statistics, one of the questions that we were talking about the other day was about the black political power in the city of Fresno. And the question that you asked was about, given that we're only 8% of the population, why is it that everybody goes after the black vote? And I believe that it is because of historical values. People who have run and won, been elected to positions of power or positions of public service here, can't win those offices without having the African American vote, although it's even small. I mean, it's only 8%. But also, as you look to some of the things that are happening in the city of Fresno, it is grounded and woven through our black African American population here in the city of Fresno. So I've been pondering on that. I've been looking at some stuff, and I think that's, I guess, at least my take on why a person such as Jerry Dyer, who is the mayor-elect now, will be sworn in January, why he so aggressively went after the African-American vote. It's because he knew that he was not going to become the next mayor if he didn't have the support of the African-American community. We've got lots of different things that are going on right now. So I just thought I would share that with you just from our conversation the other day on the phone.
Do you think that that the 8% of African Americans, which all are not of voting age, and the understanding that in that 8% you have some of that voting age that are Republicans and Democrats, do you think that the African Americans in Fresno have a united understanding of what is actually best for the community of African Americans? Or are we back to the 50 Cent, what's best for me as an individual?
No, I don't think that it's necessarily, no, to answer your question, I don't think it's either one of those. I think that the African-American community in the city of Fresno looks at things in silos. So if you're a black business person, you are only concerned or very heavily concerned, keenly concerned about what goes on with black business. If you're involved in politics, if you're involved in education, if you're involved in clergy, with church and those type of things, you're keenly focused and concentrating on your particular area in a silo.
Which that has that would have the causation to pull you in a separate corner away from everybody else, unless in essence that's back to 50 Cent saying that I'm going to vote against my individual best interest because I can weather the storm because I got enough money. Well, I'm going to vote I'm going to vote in the interest of the political spectrum of the clergy or of business people, what's best for me, because that's what I can garner a significant status from, or that's gonna push me in the direction which I want to be in.
50 Cent is worried about 50 cents. At least that's what it sounds like.
Yeah, I agree.
Worried about nobody else who's in his silo or any of those type of things. What I'm saying is that people who are in business, so people who are small business owners, people who have, these restaurants that are struggling right now, people who have T-shirt shops and those type of folks are going to gravitate around other people who are in their silo, their circle of influence. Educators like myself, we're going to be worried about other educators and people who are in our circle, not our individual selves, but about people who are in our silo, in our particular locale or particular area of interest. That's who we're going to.
In your popular interest group. Correct. How many educators are there? Roughly.
I don't know. I know that Fresno Unified has about 4,000 teachers, and they're the biggest. They're the biggest entity around here, but I don't know. I don't know.
And so the collective is, for me, is that you have to sometimes put down your individual silo, and that's what I see that the African American community in Fresno doesn't have. They don't have a collective spirit to where they would come together and do this, that, or the other. I mean, when Jerry Dyer was the chief of police and he was actively going after African Americans and firing them and rejecting them from the police department, and then you have the black newspaper, who I had heard on a national TV talking about how great Fresno is, endorsing him and putting him on the cover of the magazine. That's crap. That's crap. I mean, so that's what I'm talking about. Now not you, but that makes the community, the African American community, believe that it's okay, that type of behavior is okay. And for me, that tells me that particular entity, place, space, or person who does that is either incompetent or has no morals or values or scruples. So
when you say that, what do you mean? The newspaper? Because I can tell you that if you're talking about the California Advocate,
that would be the one.
Basically, Jerry Dyer took a $10,000 ad out with them, a $10,000 purchase out with them in the election cycle to get their endorsement. And so I agree that
so that's classic sellout.
Right. I agree. I hear you, and I agree. And how do we get around?
My question is, how do you advance your understanding as a people, as a total people, when you have the individuals that are in a place of influence selling out?
Well,
you can't do it.
Yeah, you can. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. You also on a state level have Alice Huffman, who is the state president for the NAACP, who is on, with these propositions, is on the opposite side of each proposition. In particular, Proposition 15, that has to do with schools and community first. That has the opportunity to raise $11 billion annually. And everybody that I know, most African Americans that I know, most educators that I know, most African American social organizations that I belong to and that I'm affiliated with are all saying, yeah. But Ms. Hoffman, in her private industry, her private business, is saying no. and putting advertisements out there. And
so that's exactly what I'm saying. Where a person, instead of doing a collective body of work for African Americans, you're going to pick your individuality over the collective or the group and go your own way. You know, people look at me crazy when I tell them that African Americans are schizophrenic, and it's because you have to live in a dual place and a dual space in America. Because a lot of us, you know, like we used to say, you know, code switching and you have to do this to do that and the blah blah blah, and I'm too old and too established to be code switching and telling people this, that, or the other. My personal integrity is like what you were saying about Ice Cube. Gerald Douglas Miller's personal integrity is going to take a hit because I ain't putting up with that shit no more. I am not going
but how are you what are you taking a hit for?
For standing up for my personal beliefs, counter to people. Yes.
So if you continue to talk about your community, if you continue to talk about law enforcement, if you continue to talk about the black family, you're not going to take a hit. People are going to question you, but you're not going to take a hit. But if you run out there and you start getting into politics, you start going out there and getting into medicine, telling people that
you don't see your everyday life as a politic, as a speech. Your everyday life, your in your background, Black Lives Matter. That's political.
Okay, so Gerald,
your skin, that's political.
So Gerald, you ran track. Now, here, let me see if I can. This is the simplest way I can. When I say lane, I say it as a metaphor. But if you run in a 100-yard dash and you start your race in lane 5, and when you end your race and you're in lane 8, no matter whether you're the first one across the line or the last one across the line, you're going to be disqualified. Correct?
Okay, yeah.
So what I'm saying, all I'm saying is about staying in your lane is whatever your background, whatever your personal interest, whatever your collective, your community around you is, whatever lane that is, when you stay in that lane, you're good. When you get out of that lane is when you get disqualified.
Okay. So your lane is education, but Correct. You want to transition into politics. So no. Because what you're saying is people should not be able to transverse between one or the other.
That is not what I'm saying.
That's exactly what you're
saying.
Because you're saying you started at lane 5 and you went running down the thing and down the track, and halfway down the track, you wanted to change to be a politician. So you jumped into lane 6 and you finished in lane 6. And then you threw your hands up and said, I'm the first politician around. People have the right to change their mind and do whatever they want to do.
I've widened my lane. If Darren Miller goes out there right now and starts telling people about how to do brain surgery and how, this coronavirus, you shouldn't wear a mask or you should wear a mask or this, if I start doing those things, I'm out of my lane. That's not something that I prepared or something that I put effort and energies into. I have put energies and efforts into this political lane that I'm in. So now I'm no longer in just an education lane. My lane is expanded to include education. That's all I'm saying. I haven't crossed over out of my lane. By the way, you know that I'm 0 for 4 in political races, right? So I've not done, as a candidate, I have not done a great job of being in the political lane. Although I continue to work at it.
So what you need to do is stay in the education lane? Because that's what you're saying.
No, I need
that you need to shrink your lane back down because people need to stay in their lane.
I disagree with you. Because what I'm doing is working on widening my lane.
Okay. And in that case, so is Ice Cube. So is
Ice Cube is going to take a hit.
So is LeBron James. And so is the Advocate, the newspaper. So is Gerald Miller. So is everybody else who tries to widen your lane. See, one of the things that African Americans are so afraid of is not being successful. So we come up with these metaphors so that we won't lose. I see that in people's conversations, that they talk in a strategy so that they don't lose. You're gonna lose. Part of losing is a part of learning. That's a part of widening your lane.
Correct.
You can be a politician with a pocket full of money.
We're saying the same thing again.
You like to agree with me, I guess.
No, I mean, whether I like to or not, we're saying the same thing. I'm not going to argue with you for just a sense of arguing. I agree with you. Losing sometimes is your best teacher. When I got my ass kicked in 2010, when I jumped out of my education lane and got into the political lane to run for city council and got my ass humbled, guess what? I was outside of my lane. But now that I've worked on that over the last 10 years, my lane has expanded. And right now, I'm on track with what I'm doing now to win my first political race in 10 years. So that's what I mean about people taking hits. There's nothing wrong with taking a hit. I think maybe that's what it is. You're equating what I said with Ice Cube taking a hit as a negative. I don't see it as a negative. I see it as a learning opportunity. I just wish he did not have to go through this learning opportunity. There was another way, another avenue, another venue, another vehicle that he could have used to go through this and not have to take a hit.
And once again, what I'm saying is maybe he's fine with taking a hit the same way you were fine with taking a hit the first time. So like you say, you were expanding your lane. Maybe this is what he's doing to expand his lane even further from the local politics that he's in to where he is now.
Agreed. I agree with you. Just like in 2010, when I jumped my ass off the couch in December to run for city council in June, there was a different way that I could have gone about that to get into the political realm if I wanted to do that. And I would not have had to take the hit that I took in 2010. I agree with you. So it's not a yin and yang. It's a matter of I just know that Ice Cube, it's unfortunate that he's going to have to that he's going to take the hit he's going to take. It's unfortunate, but I understand. I'm not hating him. I'm not hating him. I just hope that the hit that he takes also does not deter him from doing what it was that he got started. Now, if you don't hear from Ice Cube again in the political realm, this is all for naught. If you don't hear anything else about the Platinum Plan after this election cycle, what Ice Cube did was all for naught. He needs to continuously push that Platinum Plan, whatever is in there, and understand that there's going to be some things that's going to be taken off. There's going to be some things added on. But the bottom line is that if you're committed to that Platinum Plan, let's get it to be the best plan possible to be able to move it forward. So I think that Fresno also, one of the things that I'm going to start working on is to develop for lack of a better term, a Platinum Plan for Fresno. Because exactly what you said earlier about us doing things in isolation and us not having a collective model, a collective plan of action for the Black community moving forward, it needs to happen. And I don't think the atmosphere and timing for that politically could be any better than where it is right now. But we've got to be able to get our act together, put away and sacrifice our individual desires in whatever we ultimately come up with to be able to get it right for our community. So educators need to understand that education is only a part of the plan. It's not the only plan. People who are in business need to understand that they're a part of the plan. It's not the only plan. You know, and I believe that there's a mechanism for us to be able to move forward. It's not going to be fast, not going to be quick, but I think that we have enough people here, enough Black people here in the city of Fresno, in different aspects of the city of Fresno, to be able to create something such as that. You know, as much as I dislike that Jerry Dyer is going to be our mayor, he needs to be held accountable. He needs to be held accountable for everything, whatever is on our list of concerns or demands. The big thing right now, another thing I want to talk about, bring up is that on Friday at 11 o'clock, there is a
community rally.
There's a rally. Thank you. There's a rally in honor of all of the lives that have been lost here in the city of Fresno not just this year, but over the past few years, we've had a lot of people who've lost to gun violence. And so there's a rally in front of City Hall Friday morning at 11 o'clock, where there's going to be some speakers. There's going to be a demonstration, so that we could hopefully motivate some folks to come up with a plan of action about how we're going to respond to this rise in violence, street violence that we've had in 2020 and previously. So I think here's another opportunity. But as a Black community, I believe we've got to go in there with a plan. Here's what we want. Not what are you going to do for us, but here is our plan. This is what we want you to do. Teach me how to fish and stop giving me fish. You know, that old proverb about fishing. And so I'm having some conversations with some different folks about things moving forward, and I'm looking forward to what's going to happen, the outcomes is going to come from.
I'm going to try to make it down there Friday morning.
Are you going to be here?
I think it'll be positive. I think that'll be a positive, but all we can do is we'll see. What the outcome is.
Well, we may not see this outcome for the next couple of years.
If nothing else, wear your Fitbit and your tennis shoes so you can make it into an exercise program. Get something positive out of it.
Agreed. So I'm looking at, I don't know if you've been looking at Facebook at all. What's up, Craig Lopez? Thank you for the support.
No, I
What's going on? Miller Boy, number 3. See you out there. And Ideal, we see you. And yes, 50 Cent said he was going to vote for Donald Trump. Drew said that earlier. Oh, yeah, I forgot that. Basically, she's right. She says 50 Cent said he was going to vote for Donald Trump because Biden was raising taxes. So that's a selfish move there.
Yeah.
Big time selfish move.
Yeah, it really is. But, and that's one of the things that Donald Trump is talking about over and over and over, and people are starting to believe in that. But 50 Cent makes over $400,000 a year. So, yeah, he should pay a fair share. That's back to the conversation that me and you had about these, why I don't feel sorry for these NBA players who were basically laid off and not getting paid, Hey, if you have to learn to budget your money. Not everybody is going to take a class in college or wherever to learn finance and economics. But, hey, a lot of folks gonna slide down that pole without them pants on and get them berries all scratched up. I can't feel sorry for you.
So again, Friday morning, 11 o'clock, down in front of City Hall. There'll be relaxed parking in the area, from what I'm being told. Please wear your masks. Yes, they're required, not by law. Some asshole with the information that's been sent out to social media. They're requesting that people bring masks. It says the sign says mask required. Some asshole responded back, not by law. Okay, so it's not required by law.
Hey,
but still,
I'm 2 months removed. For all y'all that didn't catch it the first time I had Corona, me and Donald Trump is good like that. I'm immune now. We got what do you say? I'm immune. You ain't got to wear your mask around me. I'm good with it.
Okay. All right, immune. You know that there's some folks out there in the world who's doubling up on Corona, right?
Yeah, but there's 2 different strains running around out here too. Also,
so that means you only got one. There's a second strain out there.
No, I believe I caught the first one back in November of 19 with the coughing and the runny nose and the fever and the body. Yeah, I think that was the first one. Okay. So I'm good, man. Hey, I'm good. I'm God's favorite child. You didn't know that? God's favorite child.
Well, I don't agree with it. Whether I know or not, I don't agree with it.
Agree with what? That I'm God's favorite child?
Correct.
Oh, you're in the wrong.
I believe that your brother is God's favorite child. But anyway,
Okay.
that's
Hey,
another subject.
hey. Have you? Speaking of brothers, and not the brotherhood, wink, wink.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm gonna start bringing that up. I'm gonna start asking questions about the
have you
brotherhood,
seen
and I ain't wink.
the good Lord Bird talk about John
Yeah,
Brown?
yeah,
Oh
yeah.
my God, that's
I watched episode 1, and I'm in the episode. Actually, I'm gonna watch it when we get done off here tonight. I've been going to
oh
sleep to
my
it.
God.
How many
That,
episodes are there?
so far, 3 or 4.
So
I
it's
want to say
going on
4.
right now. So I'm in number 2.
Yeah, every week.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
You want to tell the folks what it's all about?
It's about John Brown's crazy ass and his revolution. He as a Christian man, he don't believe in slavery. He running through Kansas, cutting the heads off of white folks with his little band of merry men, preaching the Lord and the gospel, and said that everybody is brother through the brotherhood of Jesus Christ. And if you oppose him, he will hem you up.
The only issue is that the little black boy that he rescued after the boy killed his dad, he running around there in a dress, and he ain't playing. And the real part about it is he ain't pretending to be a girl, because he remember he was gonna show old boy the black dude his man parts. And old boy want to see it, but he won't stop wearing the dresses. And so I'm curious as to what that's all about.
Well, it's safer for him to be seen in a feminine. That's a whole nother discussion, but for a whole nother time, and we need an expert. But it's safer to be a feminine in our society, where white male dominance is. The thing is, you can only have one man in the household, and the white male is the one man. So it's safer for him to wear a dress and go along with the ruse that he is a female. And you heard how John Brown got it mixed up, right?
Right.
In episode 1, he thought his name was Henrietta, but his name is Henry.
Yeah, Henry.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, his dad said something about Henry ain't or something like that, and John Brown heard Henrietta.
Yeah.
So the last episode that I saw was when John Brown's big fat son got killed.
With the bird, you put the bird on top of. No, is that the end of 1 or 2?
They put the bird. Yeah, they put the bird on top of him, and then they went back to camp. That was the last. That was the last episode that I recall. So that's where I'm at.
And they told him to stay there, and then no, that's episode 2. There's four episodes there, because wait till he beat Tate. Is it Tate Diggs? No, David Diggs. The guy from Hamilton, the black guy from Oakland. David Diggs. He plays Frederick Douglass.
Oh yeah, I ain't nowhere near that. Okay.
Oh yeah, it's oh yeah, man. So the interesting thing about that is, one of the people who is producing and writing it is the guy from Biker Boys, the guy from the one that was a lawyer in Biker Boys. I can't think of his name. He was in Biker Boys. He was in that movie with the aliens out in the desert. He was in the movie where him and the comedian switched places. Oh man. Well, he's an influencing writer on that show.
I don't know who you're talking about. Desert Aliens.
Yeah, it's an old movie where the aliens was popping up out the desert, and it was they were going through the different stages. No, they were going They were going through the different stages of metamorphosis. Anyway, yeah, okay. But you remember Biker Boys when they got in trouble, and he had to go bail him out.
You're not talking about Orlando?
Yes, Jones.
Orlando Jones, okay.
Yes. Okay. He's a pretty interesting dude. He was on a Talib Kweli's podcast.
He's in this, or he's part of the writing team?
I know he's part of the producing and the writing team, okay. But I haven't seen him in that yet. But he's
Orlando Jones. Yeah.
And he talked about why he got kicked, why he removed himself and did not get kicked off of I think it's called Gods and Men or something, where he gave the speech to the slaves. in the bottom of the boat. It's okay, but
I don't know all that, but Orlando Jones. Yeah, I know you're talking about. I didn't know he had anything to do with that.
Yes.
I know that Ethan Hawke has a bunch. Ethan Hawke, and it must be his brother. There's another Hawke that I've seen on there that's executive producers.
Yeah,
but I haven't seen Orlando.
Yeah,
I'll check it out tonight.
It's an interesting watch. Did you watch? I know we run out of time, but did you watch Lovecraft Theory or Lovecraft Country?
Okay. I haven't seen that.
All right. Yeah.
I don't have HBO.
And
get to it.
And Chris Rock in Fargo.
I have not seen that
on FX.
I haven't seen that. I can get the FX, but I haven't seen that.
Okay.
Yeah, but he's a gangster from Chicago, right, or something like that.
They are. They're not in Chicago. I think they're in
Wisconsin. They're in Fargo, North Dakota. Fargo is
no. It's just called Fargo. They're in I want to say Minneapolis or somewhere, but they're not. They're in a large, one of the odd cities. But yeah, it's pretty interesting because it shows the dynamics of and the new N word on the scene, from the Italians to these.
He's a gangster though. He's a mobster though, like from Chicago, right? Chris Rock.
Right. Yeah. No. He from the city that he's in. He's running the city that he's in as a gangster in that community, in that city. But it has gone through the different stages of being the Irish, and then it went to the Italians, then it went to and so now the blacks are moving into that scene of being the dominant force in that neighborhood or in that city, and it's the trials and tribulations of. And it's entertaining, you know. I watch TV for entertainment. You know?
Well, Chris Rock just got in this last I don't know what you call it, not episode, but last, because Fargo's been on for about what 4 or 5 years now, right? 3 or 4 years.
Yeah. Yes.
So he's just in these last few seasons.
I think that Fargo runs a season of a storyline. And then, like, it might be, you know, in Fresno. Then the next storyline might be a story. It's called Fargo, but it might be a storyline out of San Jose. And then the next series might be a storyline out of, you know, somewhere else. And
I haven't checked it out, but I'll watch it. I noticed that Chris Rock is making a resurgence. He's in I saw him in a commercial the other day.
Yeah, a divorce will do that to you.
Okay. I noticed that he is a lot more public now than he has been recently.
Yes, sir.
Anyway,
all
right. We're up against it.
Yes. I was going to say, in closing, Fresno has a long way to go with its African-American community. I believe that Fresno's African-American community needs to trust each other more, needs to rely on each other more, and understand that we are in this space together moving forward. And if we're in the same boat and you poking holes in it, we all gonna sink. And so I think that you know, there's only 8% of us, I think, are, you know, so I you know, all I can do is keep a smile on my face and try to keep moving forward, and hope that for the community of African Americans here.
I totally 200% agree with you. The only unfortunate part about it is that the African American community of Fresno has a long history of our leaders and our leadership organizations of being sold out, bought out, however you want to claim it. And so that's where I think a lot of the distrust and mistrust comes from in the community. And so we've got to be able to overcome that, from politics, from our media presence here, from people who, you know, who are in these heads of these different entities.
Well, my life experiences have taught me that when you're one of a few fish in the pool, the other fish will gang up on you or when you're one fish in the pool that looks the way you look, the other fish, out of stupidity, will gang up on you and force you out of your existence. And I think that that we as African Americans are more intelligent than we let on to be, and we need to understand a few things. The true way to get this through people is a legitimate Saturday school to teach us discipline and self reliance, self-awareness, and self-love. And we don't. I'm going to say and make the statement that that's not taught in Fresno, and that's not the dominant thought in Fresno. So
agreed, but it can be.
It can be, but until it is, we're gonna keep eating crow. Yeah. And so, yeah. All my October babies out there, happy birthday, John Coffey, Eric Coleman. Love you like cooked food, man. Keep living. Everybody, you usually say this, but everybody that's been praying for our parents, appreciate it. I think the word is getting out. Not that we're putting it out there like that, but they're getting up in age and they're having their struggles with health, and keep them in prayers and keep them in encouraging thoughts. Like I always say, love, peace, and hair grease.
Agreed. Our parents are doing well. Mom is she's in a facility right now, doing a rehab and recovery from her major surgeries that she just went through. And so I echo Gerald's sentiments. We appreciate and thank all of the prayers and well wishes and text messages, emails, and phone calls that I'm getting on a regular basis. She's doing fine. Please don't try to reach her. Please don't try to contact her. Because if you reach out, she gonna respond, and she needs to be saving her energy right now to be able to recover from the major surgeries that she's had. And so, Gerald
Miller strong, baby, Miller strong.
Gerald and I will receive and appreciate all of the well wishes and love that you send to our parents as well. Lastly, as I always say, vote, 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 vote. If voting,
and if people in Georgia can stand in the line for 10 hours, you can walk your raggedy butt down there and drop your voting ballot in the box in 2 seconds. If
voting wasn't so important, people on the opposite side wouldn't work so hard to take it away from us.
To vote twice.
If voting wasn't that important, if it wasn't so important, people would not invest so much energy and so many, illegitimate processes to keep us from voting. And so please exercise your opportunity to vote. If you need additional help or assistance, you can always contact me, ibedam@gmail.com. You send me an email and I will be able to help you.
Send me an envelope with $100 in it. I'll help you.
No, I don't need no money. You ain't got to pay me.
By
the way,
me.
That leads me to another thing. This Saturday from 10 until 11, I will be at the Kearney Palms Shopping Center on the corner of C and Fresno Streets to help anybody who wants help with their ballot. Again, I will be there from 10 to 11. I was there last Saturday. I'll be there this Saturday from 10 to 11 to help anybody with their ballot who needs help. There's a drop box there. You can either sign your ballot at that particular time and put it in the drop box, or you can give it to me and I'll sign for it one way or another. I am available this Saturday from 10 to 11, Kearney Palms Shopping Center, Fresno and C Street, to help anybody with their ballot. And with that, we will say peace and see you guys all next week, God willing.